Do you want to pass them down?
Go ahead.
Go ahead and pass those down if anybody wants them.
I'll pass to you.
So, honestly guys, for the first time that many of you have been out there doing this, you guys had a lot of heart. You know, you were doing a lot of really good stuff out there. Obviously, there's things that we need to work on.
Yes, sir.
But what are some of the takeaways that you guys got from this initial competition out there? Eric, what was your initial takeaway?
There's a lot of people out here bigger than me. So if I don't have an angle, it ain't gonna happen.
So what are you gonna do about that?
I gotta find an angle. I gotta start using my speed.
So when I tell you not to clench up, you now understand why? A lot of you guys have wrestling backgrounds. A lot of our initial instinct is to want to grab and clench. I'm sorry, I don't want to be clenched. You know, anybody bigger than me or even my same size, my first instinct, I want to stay away. If somebody's trying to clench you, if somebody's trying to grab you, all it is wave the arm one way or the other, and it's easy. You know, use windshield wipers. Just don't let them clench on you. They can't do it if you don't let them. So, the other thing that we've worked on a lot is cutting angles. How many people were taking advantage of that when somebody was coming at them and changing the angle as the person was coming in? So, Dimitri was doing it, and Baron. For the most part, other people weren't doing that.
Speaking of that, so because there was a situation in the second fight where Connor was coming down on me, so I turned to take his charge, and then I got hit from the side. So what should I do in that situation?
You should be aware of where people are before you do it.
Don't take the charge.
Okay. So I try out of there. Duck the charge.
Okay. Well, so here's the thing. How many people were aware of where the other fighters were 5 seconds after the layout was called?
Maybe about 10 seconds I lost track.
Unless I was in the middle with somebody.
So right there, that was like a quarter of you were really paying attention. So you have to have your head on a swivel. When you're going out there, you want to go ahead and be surveying where your opponents are. You also need to step back and look at where your buddies are. You know, a lot of times you can't yell, they can't hear you. When somebody's close enough, you can go ahead and you can tap them. You know, the weapons like this far apart, you can tap him and you can make some comments. You can go ahead and coordinate together. Yeah.
Even if you're clenched up with somebody, it gets harder to understand what's going on because you're wrestling. First off, don't wrestle. But if you are wrestling and you don't know where the next hit is going to come from, right? Just don't put your head down. Move your head back, look around. If you need to get a sense of what's over there, turn the person you're wrestling with, look over there, move back. Right? You always scan the field. Doesn't matter what's going on. You always scan the field.
So if I'm clenched up with him here, I've got my head up here. I'm looking to see where everybody is for a couple of reasons. One, I want to see where I might have support because I want to be able to angle him in such a way to get support on us. I had there was a 2-on-1 with Brand earlier. Who was with me with Brand? That was you. That was me with Brand. You started going off by yourself and chasing him down.
Yeah.
You never ever want to go after somebody by yourself, and there's absolutely no reason if you've got a 2-on-1 to go running or wasting any energy that you don't have to.
Okay. Yeah, I need to pace myself more.
So when I first, I don't know if you caught what I told you when we first laid on. Did you catch what I told you?
You said don't get until you have to, right? No, wait.
Let's get him in a corner.
Right, yeah.
So when it was on the 2-on-1, I wanted us to basically spread out and basically corral him until he got into the corner.
Right.
You know, it's going to be, if he wanted to get around, he would have had to charge one of us. And as soon as somebody's charging one of us, you simply turn him into the back of the other person so you always have 2-on-1. He can't isolate himself against you. Right. As a 2-on-1, Brand was doing a brilliant job of going ahead and charging and turning himself away from the other person. And you try to do a takedown, and then he continued and skirted away. You know exactly what he needs to do.
Why do I have to scurry? Why can't I just do a fighting retreat? I'm not a squirrel. I would what they're saying. Fluttered away.
You put on some more mass.
I don't want to scurry. Okay, I'll scurry.
He pranced.
When Ferrigno's son is coming after you, you should probably just scurry a little bit. So,
I'd like to be able to scurry. I wish I didn't. I wish I had I wish I had some wheels.
So what were people having a hard time with out there?
I honestly had a hard time forgetting that I was on a team because I'm comfortable wrestling one-on-one. So I want to put my head in the guy and start doing stuff, and then I was eating dirt because I honestly, no matter how many times we went to Friday Night Fight, this is it. And I, honest to God, forgot I was on a team. Once somebody engaged me, it was just me and him. That was my whole world.
So one of the things you're doing,
So when you're coming into an engagement, you're going into a wrestler stance. And see, when you do this in wrestling, it's great when you don't have a 10-pound pendulum on your head. That's actually why you ate the dirt a bunch of times.
Right.
It's because you're going around. I saw you at one point do a double leg takedown, kind of lift the guy. You kind of went down, and then you kind of like, whoa, I gotta let go of that.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And so when it's really important. Your ass has got to be on a stick, and you've actually got to be like this. And when you collapse your hands to your knees. This is how you bridge yourself. So if someone's yanking on your head, you do this. This is how you resist it. You don't actually try to just push up. Let the guy wear himself out and then try to pull out of it. You duck walk out of it, but don't lower your head.
Or you pull your hips from here, you pull your hips in line, and they can tug on you all they want at that point. You've got a stable base.
And that's when you're chest to chest, right? That's exactly what you. So if he had his hands on my head, I would either try to get real close to him, or I would brace myself and try to get out. So depending on where I was at, if I was too far away to get close, I would, it's one or the other. But there's got to be a solution. But the biggest thing is, if you look at this, the first thing that happens as soon as my head goes down, this is the disadvantage.
Oh yeah.
And most of your engagements look just like this.
And you got this,
and then now your head's low, right? And so really, you got to keep your head up. The other thing I saw, I mentioned it to you, you went up to do a big hit, and you were like this, chasing the hit. When you make a hit on somebody in this, it's really important, again, because of the armor, it's not like football or something. You make a hit on somebody, and you get there, then you explode. And the reason for that is if you lead ahead, it's much harder with a 4-pound falchion and a 5-pound shield to one be ahead of you. Where in football or something, you can put your arms out, and it's not a big deal.
I don't football. People get way more force by just
exactly.
So
to get on and you explode. Yeah.
The other thing that's happening mechanically is if you're here and you push off, you're stopping your forward momentum. You're giving him all of your momentum, you're stopping, and now he's going ass over tea kettle. If you don't do that, you're going to run through, and then you're going to be tripping and stumbling and everything else, and falling over.
And that was a big mistake I made on a really critical moment in fighting a Russian fighter over France. And later I'm laying on the ground going, well, I jacked this guy, but I jacked me too. And that happens to the best of us. So it's not bad, but just think about it. Get there with your hands in, finish with your hands out. That's generally always going to be correct.
The improvement I started doing on that is you come in, you do the hit, and now you just drive yourself to the side. Because otherwise, if you still have momentum, you're going to be on top of a falling guy. So just move, let it carry you off to the side.
So something I'm going to be harping on all of you. So right now, you guys are the Ursus team. Most of you are. I love you, man. You are the Ursus team. We need to learn how to train together. And one of the things that I'm going to be harping on you, I'm going to be brutal about it. Okay? Just because you're locked up with somebody doesn't mean that's the person you have to take down. You're not responsible for taking this person down hell or high water. I've seen too much ownership, somebody doing this or somebody coming to help, and now it's a 2-on-1, and those two guys are standing on that one guy, and they're not going to take him down. It's going to take them forever. It is much smarter strategically and tactically to go ahead and if you go to assist something and it's not working, you didn't get that immediate takedown, back up. If you're near the rail, back up, have a hand on, stay in the field and look and see if there's something else you can do, if there's a better option for you to take. We lost matches in France because guys weren't willing to back off of the target and go somewhere else. Do not take ownership. Just because that guy's in front of you doesn't mean that's the guy that you have to fight. The guy you want to take down is the guy that you have the advantage of. So, what are the most advantageous matchup you can have? Guy to his back. If you're bearing down on somebody in his back, that is the best angle and the best thing for you to go ahead and do.
Pull his head back. Don't push him into the other guy so he braces. Don't push him into a fence. If you have his back, grab his head and pull it back, and he'll go down.
Here's the thing, is that it is so hard. Things are happening so fast for you out there. I know especially the new guys right now, everything is swirling. But if you take half a second, if you take a half second to go ahead and look at the situations you come up with, if he's engaged with somebody up in here, and I'm coming here, instead of just blasting him, if I come in instead of here, go this way and basically wrap that face and peel him, he can't do anything. Did you turn the gas on? I'm running the risk of knocking my own guy down. If I just go ahead and knock him in there,
is the gas on?
They're even tight. They're locked up in there. What can I do if they're locked up?
We shall start with a game of skill. And that game of skill will be determined with the captain.
You know?
No,
Each
that's
part of the stand on the field as the next flag rider will score the ball. They will toss the captain into the air. Next, cut the captain out of the air before it comes down.
Yeah,
They make it 1 point. It's 2 points.
But if you
Let the games begin!
if you do 1 or 2 things,
this one was again. You might want to
obviously this got done. So I didn't trust that we can handle ourselves out there. That thing spin the thing. Next best thing.
Team with 2 points each.
So again, if I'm looking at
I would not drink the first. I would use.
I'm going to step turn back and I'm going to be able to scan the field somewhere else. And I remember, when I'm trying to change somebody's angle, don't